Welcome back to CFAM. Now, let me explain that for a second. That was one of our viewers who said CFA apostrophe M, CFAM. I thought that was pretty cool. Nick here.
Gabe, I'm like, CFAM, where did this come from? This decision was made without me. Oh, whoa. You know what, though? I like it, CFAM.
Most decisions.
It rolls off the tongue. CFAM.
CFAM.
What's up, CFAM?
CFAM. So we are glad that you've tuned in, and if you haven't left yet, we really appreciate that. We are looking at another reaction today. We will be having discussions. We will be having reviews coming out, but today is another reaction, and this is a request from our Patreon, Cody. Thank you so much, Cody, for being a Patreon, for supporting us. If you want to be a Patreon of Board Reviews and CFAM, then go ahead and check out the link below. So this is Brett Lee's thrilling last over in his career. This is obviously, we're talking about Brett Lee, one of the greatest bowlers of all time. We don't know much about cricket, and we at least know that this guy is a legend. And, you know, he's retired now. Obviously, this is his last over. I believe this was in a like an IPL game maybe, or in something other than international cricket, because he's wearing a peak uniform. I don't recognize that as maybe breast cancer awareness. But anyways, we are looking at this video. If you have some requests, we can't react to everything, but we can always discuss some things. Go ahead and let us know in the comment section below. Go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done so far to make sure we haven't already reacted to that on this channel and at Boring Reviews, our sister channel. And Gabe, what do you want to say to our wonderful folks?
You guys know what to do. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Check out some of our other videos. But I'm excited. Let's check out Brett Lee's last over.
Let's do it. All right. 3, 2, 1. Highlights.
Over his career, he's got to bring the side home. Spin to win, great courage. It was indeed. Maxi. It could be another super over finish. Well, it wouldn't be bad. Hashtag let's hope so. But Brett Lee, 6 balls left in his career, and he just needs to go for 6 runs.
A couple of deliveries in that last over his bowl. Those 2 Yorkers he bowled. If he bowls,
okay, so they need,
I think he can close out this game for the
8 wins to win, or 19 runs to win off 6 balls.
Do you reckon they'll bowl slow balls too?
JL,
yeah.
Steens into Carberry. He goes around. That is an amazing shot. It's going to go 1 bounce. It plugs. It's 4. Carberry takes the bit between his teeth.
He went the Yorker and didn't execute. That is an excellent
try
shot.
the old Yorker.
There's the pressure, boys.
Okay, so there you go. They only need 4 runs now to win off 5 balls. Doesn't look too good.
He's been around a few mango seasons, as they say. But the execution of his Yorker.
Wow, that was a nice,
you could see the line that he was trying
nice
to bowl,
approach
the
by the batsman.
just way too full. Made it very easy for Carberry just to flip that one over. 45, who was up inside the circle. He'll go back now. I thought of another one of those.
Dude, JL always looks stressed out, don't he?
I was going to say, we've seen that look many times before already.
It was a pickup length from Brett Lee, but can he get it in the block all night now around the wicket?
Carves it away on the offside. Man will do everything he can. There's a miss.
Nice.
Going to come back for a second. Carberry hurries and makes it. Dives all over the place.
What did he get, 2 on that one?
6
Yeah.
balls, 1 for the tie.
How quickly the game changed when Lyon got that second wicket of Turner. You looked over to the Scorchers bench and they were in trouble.
Who says sports doesn't have drama? Holy cow.
6 from Coulter the last over. Then the beautiful ram from Carberry. Misfield.
I like that approach from that wicketkeeper. I'm sure everyone does that, but he had his hands as wide as he could so he can just kind of fling it at the stumps. That was cool.
They're up and about, the boys down there in the Scorchers dugout. Will it be this ball? All the field up inside the circle. 2 to win. Carberry gets it fine. And they're just going to hold it. So it's all tied up.
Jeez.
So somehow Brett Lee needs to deliver.
One thing they can do, think about here, how he's getting someone fielding on the wicket.
One run, 3 balls.
If he hits this, he's going to run.
So now it's tied. They just need that to win.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
The big chainsaw
There we
comes
go.
out.
The
He
big
keeps his
chainsaw.
Career going. He keeps his team going. Coulter-Nile can't believe it. Bing goes bang.
That lady had the rally. They all do. They had like the rally buckets on their heads.
Oh, that was sensational, wasn't it? Coulter-Nile taking the chance because of the field set.
They tried to
And it wasn't
reverse
the
sweep.
percentage play on the Bunnings Warehouse replay.
Cost
It wasn't a
him.
picture-perfect Yorker, but it was enough. Zing bars flying.
Well, I'll tell you what, it wasn't far.
See all those
away from
cracks
being
in the
about
ground there?
perfect.
oh yeah.
There it is. A 3 for 1, 2, 3. The lawnmower was up and running as Whiteman comes to the crease. And I think you're spot on what you said, Flem. He'd much prefer to be bowling that to a right-hander.
One of 2 balls. Whiteman for his first ball. Everyone is on the side.
Oh,
Oh, you can't believe it. Brett Lee's on
The
a
fire.
That's Whiteman.
jeez.
He's got 1 ball left in his career, and he's on a hat-trick.
I tell you what, he's doing.
Could you imagine if he gets the hat trick in his final over? Wow.
He's building up another Hollywood blockbuster here.
You're kidding me, Flem.
A hat trick to win the game for the Sixers.
And they're like, we just need one more run, people.
You've been whinging to me all year about not getting in and around in a close game.
He destroyed.
Nice.
He said it. He's doing a Bollywood movie. It's a Hollywood production.
He's on a hat-trick.
I love it. He got right in his face, too. I mean, this guy is a fierce competitor.
His teammates, they don't know what to do. Sean Abbott in the background, he's just having a giggle. They don't want to go near him. What a finish.
Bro, you do not want to be the batsman up there right now.
His
No.
last ball.
You have no chance. This guy's already turned it around. Got 2 in a row.
Across the crease. Binger, the doorway to departure is met. Whiteman got the length, but he missed
Because
the
Brett
ball.
Lee's got no choice. He has to get the hat trick to
Yes, here,
preserve the
Arafat
game,
comes
to
into
keep the tie.
quadrant To face 1-0.
Jeez.
Oh boy.
He's gone wicket, wicket. This is, unless it's a super over, the final ball of his career. Look at him focusing.
Yeah, he's visualising this Yorker.
Come on, Binger.
He's
Crashing
calling
into the stumps.
for 1 more Yorker in his career. Brett Lee steams into Arafat. It's up there. Arafat hits and he's out.
Oh.
They've gone back to back. You
Oh.
can't believe what you're seeing. They stream
Oh
on
my
the field.
gosh.
The run-out chance was
I
there.
did not think
It
that was gonna
misfield.
happen.
Brett Lee, his career is done, and the Scorchers, in incredible fashion,
Oh,
again,
wow.
go back to back in a Big Bash thriller.
Well, you don't like to see a mistake, do you, like that? There was a good throw back in over the stumps. I think it was Enriquez, the captain, who wasn't able to gather. And look how far out he is. He is literally not in the frame. Just take the ball, knock the bails off.
Oh,
Right
bro, that's
there.
gut-wrenching.
Super over time.
Yeah. I did not think that was going to happen.
Brett Lee following Arafat. Enriquez got the ball.
Oh, beat him there by so much.
Oh.
He was out by a mile. We were going to a super over there. Brett Lee couldn't have bowled
Bro,
any
I got
better in that
goosebumps
last
right now just
over.
watching this.
Hitting the
This
stumps
is
a couple of
brutal.
times.
Look at that.
Oh, jeez.
He's just rushed it, hasn't he, in the end? He just hasn't quite realised how much time he had.
Wow.
First, get the ball into your hands, see it into your hands, secure the ball.
With me, Brett, I'm sure that's an over you'll never forget in the rest of your life now.
Nah, look, and that's cricket, isn't it? You know, first of all, congratulations to the Scorchers. They played really well tonight. You know, we could have had it there in sort of parts or periods, but on this particular night, they were you know, much better than us.
What emotions are going through you now? Is sadness? What is it when you come to the end of your career?
My hand's still shaking that last ball. Look, I just try to really sort of block out any other sort of factors and stuff, and just really try to blast those pegs for one last time. And you know, I thought I had it on the money. You got a bit of bat there, and that's the game. You know, I thought we played really, really well. The last couple of games have been really good for us, but tonight there has to be a loser, and unfortunately that was us.
Well, you know, you guys have made the Champions League. Any chance you might come back and have one more go?
Zero. No way. No, look,
That nerves can't handle it anymore.
no way. Look, that's you know, it was. I've really enjoyed the last 6 or 7 weeks. It's been a pleasure to play with an absolute bunch of champions. It's time I move aside now and let some other young guy come through.
Very exciting to end to an incredible career. I'll let you go and spend the time with the boys. Over to you again, Roger.
Wow, what a class act.
Yeah, I did not. Again, I keep saying it, I did not see it ending that way. I thought the way it was set up that he was going to get that hat trick, but I mean that's no easy feat, and not just that, but to go out in a way where, I mean, this guy, it's not in his hands. Someone else, isn't able to catch it. I mean, it's a split second, just close his hands a few seconds sooner, and he's got it. But like you said, a class act. He didn't blame anyone. He didn't yell at anyone. He kind of had his moment where he sat there, got up, and congratulated the Scorchers. So that was intense. It didn't
Right.
start off too well. He had the boundary, he had the 2-run, and then he was able to hone it down a little bit, and then had that heartbreak at the very end.
You know, I, you don't ever see these kind of videos. I remember one of the big things was Derek Jeter's last hit as a Yankee. Of course it would be Derek Jeter, home run, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's written like, it's Hollywood. They said the same thing. Of course, anybody, so many guys have finished their careers out. Think about Joe Montana and Peyton Manning and these guys, out on top. But to not just to finish on a loss, but a loss on an era that's gut wrenching, man. And as bad as Brett Lee feels for it, that captain of the other team, of whatever, it wasn't the Scorchers. The Scorchers were the team they were playing. I forget the name of the team Brett Lee was playing on, but that captain's got to feel absolutely just besides himself. That's something's gonna haunt him forever. And he wanted to make the play, but he just rushed it, and he had so much time. It was brutal. But it was like the announcer asked him, "Do you think you could come back? Your team made the playoff." This guy still has some, like they say, piss and vinegar left in him, man. He was destroying some stumps. He could still play. Very few guys walk away from the game when they can still play. I mean, is it like, well, he didn't need the money, or even the athletes that don't need the money? Think about it. Tom Brady doesn't need the money, but he can still play, and
He still wants to play. I'm trying
he
to get my
still wants.
power cord here. Sorry, keep talking.
No, you're good. But dude, he still has some gas left in the tank. You know what I mean? Like, who walks away from the game when you're still able to compete? You know what I mean? Like
Well,
is it
these
something?
guys, they have to have pride, obviously, right? I mean, he seems like a really good guy. He really does. But you
Right.
have to have some pride. I mean, that's your competitive nature. And you hear these guys say all the time they don't want to go out when they don't belong anymore. And it's just apparent that they decline so much. They don't want that to happen. Obviously, going to be some kind of decline from their prime, but they want to go out on their own terms. And you mentioned Tom Brady. I mean, the guy's like 43 years old. He's got nothing left to prove, but he's so competitive. He loves the game so much that he's willing to go to a different team after all these years. He's got more championships than anyone else as far as quarterback goes. But I think a lot of ways, like Tom Brady, he keeps thinking about how he was drafted second to last, and he just can't fathom that. And he wants to prove time and time again when probably almost all those GMs that had that draft, they're not GMs anymore. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
in the game, and he still is. But these guys are competitive. But I truly, truly respect Brett Lee when she asked that question, and it kind of ends not on a super sour note, but with a loss so close. And she asked him, is there any chance you're going to play again? And he said, zero chance. He already made up his mind. And I'm sure for his family and everyone else is excited to have, the Brett Lee they know and love back at home and to be able to slow things down. I'm sure they really appreciate that. But I respect him for going into that saying, zero chance. I love the game. Let's let someone else have a chance to play.
Bro, I mean, I just can't in my mind think of too many athletes. In the NFL lately, you have a lot of guys retiring early, but that's because of concussion concerns. I think of Luke Kuechly, who just retired this last season. I was like, what? And this guy's a monster linebacker. But you know what? They're getting advice from their doctors, and they've taken the hits. They've made their money, and it's like, look, it's just not worth risking my life, so to speak, But think about it. People love thinking about Michael Jordan, the great basketball player, the greatest, the GOAT, the greatest that ever. But you remember Mike at the end, bro? You know what I'm saying? When he was with the Wizards, kind of flabby. I mean, that's just being real. Ali, the greatest of all time, greatest fighter of all time, right? Ali lost. I want to say his last loss was to Leon Spinks. You know what I mean, dude? Was it Spinks or was it? I want to say it was Spinks, but guys that he would have mopped the floor early in his career. But, Ali was like literally 45, I think, when he fought, and he just old and flabby. And, nobody beats Father Time. We talk about how great Rocky is and Sylvester Stallone is in that role. And in the new Creed movie, which is a continuation of the Rocky movies, Apollo Creed's son, asked Adonis, I should say, that's his name, Adonis, asked Rocky, like, who was better, you or Apollo? Was he really that good? And he's like, Apollo? Rocky says Apollo was the best. And he says, well, then how did you beat him? And he said, I didn't beat him, kid. Time beat him. Father Time is undefeated. You know what I mean? Nobody beats the clock. And then that's what it is. Usually the game is over with you before you're over with the game. So to see him walk away on top like that, and still obviously have something to prove. I mean, the announcer's telling them, look, you can still play, but like you said, maybe personal issues, family sometimes comes above that. Who knows? Maybe in the comments, you guys can let us know, why did Brett Lee retire? Was it a premature retirement? Did he still have some gas in the tank, or this was just an unbelievable performance, but he really didn't have that much left?
Yeah, for me, I became a teacher for many reasons, and thank goodness I enjoy it, because I've had many jobs in the past before I got into my career that I did not enjoy, and I'm just like, oh, I hate this job. But for me, one of the reasons I became a teacher was because of the schedule, because the time home with the family, the summers off, and all that kind of stuff, and that's important. These guys, I'm not saying they're gone 365 days of the year, but they're gone away from their families for a long period of time, and there's some dads that I know, some husbands, that they kind of enjoy that. They have their quiet time. They get to stay on the road and whatnot. I wouldn't be able to be that way. So maybe that had a factor into it. A lot of these athletes, like a Peyton Manning, didn't start having kids until way later in their career. I want to say he didn't have his first child until he was with the Broncos, his second team, 10 or 15 years later. Once they have that touch of family, that taste of family, and they got, definitely more than enough financial means to take care of them, they want to move forward in that way and do that. So maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe there are some injuries that, if you keep doing this, you're going to hurt yourself. Or maybe it's just, like he said, it's just time. I know Michael Strahan for your Giants, he really wrestled with the idea of coming back for that last season, especially when they were 0-2, and it didn't look there was any point in coming back. He held out in training camp. He hated training camp, and he was fine, all this kind of stuff. But he just felt like, I think I'm done. Like, I don't enjoy the practice aspect. I love games. I love wrecking games. And thank goodness he came back, because they won a Super Bowl that final year, his one and only that they won. But I mean, I think back to that a lot. And I think he had said, some of the aspects, and you hear from a lot of players, the idea of training camp, the idea of practices, the idea of the grind, and my heart's not into it. Like, I got to walk away. And so, everyone has their decision. Everyone makes their mind up. And, it's crazy. We always joke around about, making it big on YouTube, and we're going to make millions of dollars, which we never really think that, but we just joke around about it. And what would you do? I'm telling you, I would make the crazy decision to still teach and still keep my job. I know you said the same thing. And then just enjoy that kind of income that YouTube would provide, which it doesn't for most people that are on YouTube.
Right.
But I mean, that's the decision I would make, because I know that if I was retired from teaching, I just stayed home and did some more YouTube videos, I would enjoy it, but not nearly as much as I enjoy teaching. So I would, I'd have that $1 million in the bank, and I would still go teach and make my, my pennies a day or whatever.
Well, it goes back to the old adage, if you love what you're doing, then you'll never work a day in your life. But if you don't love what you're doing, then it's got to be a grind just to get out of bed. And I think about, in my opinion, one of the greatest athletes of all time is Allen Iverson. My younger brother's a huge AI fan. People forget AI was actually a football star in college, and actually because of a whole issue, he ended up getting kicked off the team. There's a huge brawl he was involved in, and then basketball was his second sport, and he ended up going to go, and in high school, I should say, he was a football star, but he was a top recruit around the country. This guy was an unbelievable athlete. He went into the NBA. He was so good, they had to change the rule because he made Jordan and a whole bunch of other players look silly with his crossover. AI was sick, but the guy had no work ethic. What is AI famous for? If you put in AI...
Practice? You're talking about practice?
Not that he single-handedly took the Sixers to the NBA championship, okay? Not that the guy was like a 5-time scoring champ. What do we think about when we think of AI? that practice? Come on, you're talking about practice because he was notoriously a no-show or late for practice. You know, if you're the leader of the team, you're supposed to be the hardest worker, and that wasn't him. He did not enjoy the process. So I understand what you're saying where, you know, I love playing the game, but I don't love all the stuff, the traveling that comes with it, the practice, OTAs, mini camps. I just don't want to do it. So, you know, maybe Brett Lee was over that, you know, because we know for a fact from watching the test that these guys work super hard. These guys are real athletes. They're in the gym, they're running, they're putting in the miles. And, you know, for an older guy, I mean, I'm pushing 40, okay? I know you just recently celebrated her birthday. Shout out, look at quarantine party shirt. I love it.
Party animal.
Party animal, little Star Wars right there. But, you know, it's one of those situations where, again, nobody beats time and things that I just think about stuff that you used to do, Nick, like 10, 15 years ago, and think about now, like a 5-mile run before was fun. Now it's just grueling. I want to kill myself. Oh, gosh, no. You know, he's like, it's just different. It's just different. It's got to be.
Yeah, getting old is not fun. You know, you just spent a whole day yesterday working in your mother-in-law's backyard. I can't imagine you're feeling too good this morning. That's the worst part about getting old. Like, you do a little bit of work like that, some yard work, and you wake up the next day like, why does my whole back hurt? Why does my whole shoulder hurt? Why is all this stuff happening? It's, you know, the fun joys of getting old. We hope you enjoy this reaction. We hope you enjoyed our discussion as well. We hope that, you know, you're all doing well and you're all staying safe, and that as you get older, hopefully, you know, you're able to cope with it as well. We appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out Boring Reviews and see what we're doing over there. And until next time.
That's 6 runs.